American men and women are set to be imminently drafted to fight for the globalists in World War III if Klaus Schwab gets his way, after the World Economic Forum leader was heard boasting that he has signed an executive order compelling the Biden regime to supply American bodies for the front lines. Schwab made the remarks at an event in Dubai earlier this week, where he was speaking to 600 so-called experts on the topic of how to rule the world. When Schwab says jump, Biden says how high?
Are the wars in Israel and Ukraine more than the United States can take on at the same time?
We're the United States of America, for God's sake. The most powerful nation in the history, not in the world, in the history of the world. The history of the world. We can take care of both of these and still maintain our overall international defense. We have the capacity to do this, and we have an obligation to. We are the essential nation, as to paraphrase the former Secretary of State. And if we don't, who does?
Since when did the US have an obligation to fight foreign wars? And make no mistake, the globalists have big plans to reshape the entire world in the next few years.
The world's at an inflection point. The world's changing, but we have an opportunity to make it. So imagine if we were able to succeed in getting the Middle East put in place where we have normalization of relations. I think we can do that. Imagine what happens if we, in fact, unite all of Europe and Putin is finally put down where he cannot cause the kind of trouble he's been causing. We have enormous opportunities.
The elite are happy sending your money overseas forever and sending your children overseas to fight their globalist World War III. Are we going to let them? Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join us in our mission, support the channel, and gain access to uncensored content. Lord Rothschild admitted that his family created Israel as part of the Great Master Plan for World War III. And now their agenda is playing out before our very eyes. The useful idiots on mainstream media were quick to call the attack Israel's 9/11, and they were closer to the truth than they'll ever realise. Just like the 9/11 attacks, the government was complicit and the military was ordered to stand down. And just like 9/11, the globalist elite are now rubbing their hands together at the prospect of launching more forever wars in the Middle East, more devaluation of currencies, more neglect of the people in favour of war, death, and the globalist agenda. At the time of the attack on Israel, security experts were stunned and said that the Hamas attack didn't make any sense and bore all the hallmarks of an inside job. Now we know that the Israeli government did know about the attacks in advance. The Times of Israel, Associated Press and Al Jazeera are all reporting that Egypt warned Israel of a major attack coming from Gaza 10 days before the events of the weekend, but Israeli officials chose to ignore it. And now we know why Israeli forces took 7 agonizing hours to respond to calls for help from terrorized citizens. Here's Lauren Witzk with more on the stand-down order issued by Netanyahu to the Israeli military.
Netanyahu intentionally let Hamas kill Israelis. Both the IDF and the Israeli Air Force both stood down for 7 hours. You won't believe what a Jewish charity leader told me today.
Israel has the most sophisticated intelligence in the world. There was no way the government didn't know that that was going to happen. We're friendly with several good people in Israel. One is Rabbi Hanania Weissman. He knows a lot of people in Israel. He knows confidential sources that he shared with us their information about the stand-down order. And he sent out a missive that, indeed, the IDF was given stand-down orders, both the Army and the Air Force, 7 hours to stand down while those attacks took place. And this allowed the terrorists to come in and begin slaughtering and torturing the citizens.
The 9/11 parallels don't stop there. After this quick break, we will reveal exactly how we know the elite's plans for the next few years. Hint, the elite believe in revelation of the method, and they've been telling us about their plans for centuries. But first, an important message from our sponsor. MyPillow's range of products are all designed to give you the very best night's sleep of your life every damn night. No more waking up with a stiff neck. The MyPillow cooling technology will also help keep you cool the whole night through. It truly is the longest lasting and best pillow you'll ever own. And Mike Lindell is giving viewers of The People's Voice huge discounts on all of the awesome MyPillow products in his store. Visit mypillow.com/TPV and use promo code TPV at the checkout. Purchasing these American-made products helps support our show. And as a thank you, you'll also receive a free gift by using the promo code TPV. Visit mypillow.com/TPV now, or call 1-800-923-1845 and use promo code TPV. That's 1-800-923-1845 and promo code TPV to get your free gift and to take advantage of the massive discount. Anybody who's still on the fence about whether the hidden hand of the elite is currently orchestrating world events should take a look at this Economist cover from 11 years ago. The Rothschild-owned Economist magazine has a history of uncannily predicting the future with their covers. Let's zoom in on the detail in the top of the image. Did they have a time machine? The elite plan the future and adapt to how the public reacts to their plans. Those who know their history understand that the Rothschilds have been trying to claim Palestine's sovereignty for centuries. In 1829, they offered the huge fortune of 35 million piastres to the Turkish Sultan. Now they're making their move, in the exact manner that Albert Pike told us they would in his foundational Illuminati text published way back in 1871. That's right, the events that are playing out before our very eyes have been in the works for centuries.
Have you heard of Albert Pike's 3 World Wars? For those of you that haven't, this is Albert Pike. According to encyclopedia.com, he was the leading American Masonic scholar of the 19th century. Albert Pike claimed to have received a vision, which he wrote down in a letter in 1871. This isn't hearsay. This can be found in the U.S. Archives at archive.org, and it was also displayed in the British Museum Library in London. He describes 3 world wars. 2 world wars have obviously already happened, but I'm going to read you what he said about the Third World War. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the Asian tour of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the State of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, in which all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere, the citizens, obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, will exterminate these destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time.
Klaus Schwab wasn't joking when he said that he had penetrated cabinets of Western democracies and appointed his puppets. Biden is fully signed up to the agenda and determined to play his role in the elite's Third World War.
Were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist. And my father pointed out to me, I did not need to be a Jew to be a Zionist. For I am. Israel is essential to the security of Jews worldwide.
Ask yourself this. Will Biden make the situation even worse when he makes what CNN are even admitting is a high-stakes trip to Israel this week? You can bet your bottom dollar he will. Violence begets more violence. The elite are determined to send humanity on a race to the bottom, while they get richer, tighten the noose around humanity's neck, and enact their long-planned agenda for World War III and a one-world government. Are we going to let them? Here at the People's Voice, we are determined to continue exposing the crimes of the globalist elite, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel, spread this video far and wide, and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored content. I hope to see you there.